Is Dustin is driving a douche? Let's talk about it. Welcome everyone. It is cocktail hour. That's good. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe by clicking my face down there in the corner and ring the bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. All right, I know what you're thinking right now. Mark, how could you say such a thing? You don't use that kind of language on your channel. I know. I couldn't help it though, because it was actually what Dustin said on his channel. It made me chuckle. So I had to ask, was Dustin being a douche? What are we talking about? Well, Dustin is under a little bit of fire. And it's amazing how one little commentary video could raise the ire of so many people. I've been seeing a few videos now on this topic. I have been getting emails on this topic. People have been making comments on this topic. What am I talking about? Well, Dustin took a ride with his wife, his first Uber ride in New Jersey. Got in the car, the driver turned off the app, and Dustin said, "What are you doing? Why did you cancel the ride?" You didn't turn off the app, you canceled the ride. And the guy said, "Well, you're just going a short distance. I'll just take cash for this one." Well, the upshot of the whole thing is Dustin did not turn the guy in. And people are not happy with him because of that. And I understand why they're not happy. Now, let me start before I come down on this. I really like Dustin. One of these days I'll go through the whole history of my channel and how Dustin and I first met. We've never met personally, but met online, and how we became friends. But I understand what people are saying, because Dustin does tend to take a hard line on things, right? It's Smakovich, you know, it's my car, my rules. And so now when this guy that tends to be a hardliner says, "No, I didn't report him," people got upset and it raised their ire. So it may or may not come as a surprise to you. I'm kind of going to defend Dustin in this one, but not really. I'm more going to give you my perspective, and then I'm going to let you decide. So first, let's talk about what are the risks with canceling a ride in order to take cash. Just to make sure I don't forget anything, I made a little list here. So the first thing, it's going to affect just your driver rating, because now you have a higher cancellation rate. You are not getting credited for the ride. So if you are trying to do things like reach a higher level in the tier system, you're working against yourself. So that's just it from a real personal, selfish perspective. However, you also lose your Uber insurance coverage. If you're on a ride and you are not on the app, if you get in an accident, none of Uber's, or Lyft for that matter, insurance is going to kick in. And that is really, really dangerous. You risk being reported, and you risk deactivation. Now, of course, Dustin didn't report the guy. We'll get to that in a minute. But when you think about all of these things that are starting to tick, 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 and pile up, it's illegal. If you're not licensed, you could get ticketed, fined, and I doubt if you'd get arrested, but it's illegal to do so. Now, Dustin did say in his follow-up video, the guy said he had a chauffeur's license, and he inferred from that perhaps he, had business insurance and everything else. I've got a chauffeur's license. A chauffeur's license doesn't mean diddly squat. How and why did I get my chauffeur's license? When I was a much younger version of myself, when I was in college, I was a bellhop at a Marriott hotel. And one of my duties was to do the airport shuttle back and forth to pick up people from the hotel, or from the airport to the hotel and back. And so in order to do that, I had to get my chauffeur's license. It was no big deal. It didn't mean that I had special insurance coverage, and it doesn't mean that. It doesn't necessarily mean I have any special training. In my case, I was a college kid that was shuttling people back and forth to the airport. So don't make assumptions just because someone has a chauffeur's license. Oh, that is so good. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, brandy old-fashioned sweet, I'll tell you what it is. I put in about 7 little shakes of bitters. I put in a little bit of the maraschino cherry juice. I put in my own little concoction of a mix. It's got a little honey and a little simple syrup and some other things in it. And a shot and a half of Corbel brandy. And then I top, yeah, that's about it. Then I top it off with some 7-Up, and I run the orange slice around the rim, so every time you drink, you get that orange. This is so good. Mm. All right, so that's the situation. Now, the other risk that you have, what if the person doesn't have cash? He already canceled the ride. And what if Dustin had come back and said, I don't get cash. I can't pay you cash. Now, what are you going to do? Now, we can also look at the safety issue. Neither the driver nor the passenger has that safety button that you can call to get help, and the tracking is no longer in place, so nobody knows where you are from either a driver or a passenger perspective. I mean, you know, what happens now if, you know, the BTK killer just got in your car, or Jeffrey Dahmer, or Ed Gein, or someone just hopped in your car, and now you tell them, I just turned off my app. You are opening yourself up to some really ugly things happening, right? And the reverse is true as well. You're at risk as a passenger if nobody's tracking you. So all of those ugly things can happen. Now, what about poor old Dustin, who's under attack right now? Should he have reported? I don't know. That's not up to Dustin. Dustin is not the rideshare police. If I was taking that ride, would I have reported the guy? I don't know. There's a lot of perspectives to look at this from. And as Dustin has said in his video, it's real easy to be a Monday morning quarterback and say, here's what I would have done. It's quite different when you are in this situation. Plus, Dustin said that he had been drinking that night. I mean, really, is that responsible to make a YouTube video while you're drinking? I don't know what's the matter with that guy. So, would I have reported him? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. There's two ways to look at it. Number one, it's none of my business. You know, the way other people want to conduct their business is none of my business, right? On the other hand, what about looking out for the next guy and the guy after him? So, you know, you're making that little balance there. Where is my responsibility? Where is my obligation? I tend to think, not having been in the situation, I would have probably told the guy, I don't feel comfortable with that. Please turn the app back on. Or let me out. I'll call another vehicle. I probably would have done one of those two things. Would I have reported him? I don't know. I honestly can say I don't know. It's really easy for me to lean back and say, oh yeah, I would have. I don't know if I would have. I just don't know if I would have. As far as what Dustin did, another thing I would not have done, I wouldn't have called the guy out. I wouldn't have gotten in an argument with him. It's not up to me to school this guy on how he should run his business. It's up to me to say, I'm comfortable with this or I'm not comfortable. I want to stay in your car or I want to get out. It's not for me to start lecturing him and saying, I'm a driver, I'm an Uber tuber. You don't know who I am, you shouldn't be doing that. I don't think it's my place. Now, have I ever done that? Yeah, but in a little different situation. You've all watched my video where I was driving with a lady and she had kind of a low rating, and we got in a little conversation. I explained to her how ratings worked, and she was very open and willing to listen. But I wasn't scolding her, and I wasn't telling her, here's what you're doing wrong. And I think that's the difference. You know, and again, I think the reason people, I do think you're coming down a little hard on Dustin, many of you. But I think the reason is Dustin does tend to set himself up a little bit as the hardliner. You know, let's give him a Smackovich. My car, my rules. And I think when you establish that, people have an expectation of you being a hardliner. Is that being fair to him? Probably not. You know, we all of you that watch this channel, I'm going to guess most of you also watch Dustin. Dustin's a good guy. You know, Dustin's a likable guy. He's a charming guy. He's got a bit of charisma to him. I think it's a little harsh to come down on him for this one situation. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think you would have done? Would you have continued on with the ride and said, cool, I can pay him in cash and maybe get by with a little cheaper ride? Would you have considered the safety aspect, or would you have just been ticked off that this guy was doing something that you know darn well he shouldn't do? I would love to hear your comments down below. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. If you're not already subscribed, click my face down there in the corner. And please click that bell icon up above. Some people have been saying, Mark, you've been doing these live streams again. We never know when the live streams are coming up. Click the bell icon and you will get notification. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I'm Mark with UberHints.